Hey everyone, Tim here, and welcome to. Oh, I'm so excited. Life update. Now, this is an early life update, but it's going to take a long time for me to uh, edit this out. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it, but I want to do something different. And I love the kind of life updates where I go back to memory lane and for we've been we've been living here for I believe a year now, and I get a little homesick. So I am going to do a video where I go back again to my you know nice memories and talk about my childhood mall and the places I would go to. Now these are places that are closed down. Well, some of them, and these are the places I remember as a kid just loving to go to. And then there's places that I'm gonna talk about completely just that I didn't go to, but I'm gonna have some funny stories about those. So let's go into these. We start with one that I remember going to all the time, and it is KB Toys. Remember KB Toys? KB Toys was a toy store I remember going to all the time, and it was it was. I'm gonna get killed for this. It was better than Toys R Us. It had all the kinds of toys you're looking for, and I know, no, like the coolest thing is this area that this isn't probably the particular store from the mall that I went to, but this was a not as like big as this, like my room the room over here, if you see. But it was kind of not too big, a little smaller, and every toy you could think of. It was an awesome experience, especially just going in and just having the time of my life. If I was homesick, mom would always treat me to go to the mall with her, just to get out of the house, and that was always a excitement. I'm not gonna talk about the Disney store because I'm possibly gonna have a separate video and something different. But just fun times, fun times. The next place I always loved to go to was EB Games, not GameStop. EB Games. EB Games, a lot like KB Toys, had all those games you could think of, and the coolest thing was, it was like, if you remember Coconuts, which I'm gonna get to one of these days. You think of a game, they just pop it out. There you go. This is what you're looking for, and in particular, it was what you were looking for. I remember getting Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I remember getting, at the time, the newest. Oh my god, it was the Jet Li game, which I'll probably review one of these days. Just another like all, and this particular was the store I went to, and then they changed it to a GameStop, which I think to this day is still a GameStop. I might be wrong. Haven't gone there in possibly 2 years. So, and even with the malls, there were places I didn't like going into, but it was my sisters loved going into, and it was Claire's. I remember as a kid feeling like I was gonna turn into a girl going in there, and then I would have to run and then like try to go to the nearest Spencer's, which another place I'll talk to for another separate video, because these places, certain places I just want to talk about on a standalone video. And yeah, it was all around fun. And yeah, I would go to Spencer's at a young age, and because they had really cool collectibles, like toys, but collectible, like a Legolas or a collectible Chucky doll. There's very fun stuff that I'll get to on there. But what I like about Claire's was it kind of had the 80s trend back. Again, as I got older, I liked that idea. So, yeah. Pretzelmaker has, in my opinion, makes the best, or made the best pretzels I'd ever had. And the saddest thing is to not go to a Pretzelmaker or Pretzel Time and have that delicious pretzel. I know they have copycat recipes, which my sister always sends me. I'm definitely going to get to that, because that's always been one of my favorite snacks, is a Pretzelmaker pretzel. And Deb, or we always called Deb's, was a place that, yet again, if I did something trouble, if I did something bad, because I wasn't that, the annoying brat brother, but I liked to be a wise ass in the mall. If it was something I wanted and I couldn't get, I would not throw a tantrum, but I just would bother my mom out of getting me what I wanted. And what I think was the funniest form of torture or grounding she would give me was I'd have to stay in Deb's to, to have to go through the torture. And the funniest thing is, because she'd allow me go on my own, because I know like the places in the back of my head, and like we were always like so close. Every store was so close to one another. And yeah, I remember like it was the colors always messed with my eyes. And I like these two songs, but all I would hear is you got it bad when you're on the, from Usher, and one of my favorite singers, Enrique Iglesias' Hero. I can be your hero, baby. I would have to hear that. Those were the only two songs they'd play in that fucking store. And if I would go out, and then all of a sudden they'd still play the songs and what's funny is, when on Saturdays or Sundays, when all the kids and stuff were around, they played that same music. And then all of a sudden, when it was like weekdays, but while everyone's at school, and me being me, everything going on with me and surgery and yada yada yada, They play all like classic, really good like Eddie Money, Bob Seger music. I always thought that was funny. But yeah, Deb, damn it. And then if I would go to a certain place in the food court, there were two Chinese spots. One is a place called Master Walk, which, in my opinion, had the best. Oh, just look at that. Just look at that. Bourbon chicken, and then the ribs. And I remember like always morphing together, and I usually would get the lo mein with it, but couldn't find that for a like visual. And then there was another place. I think it was called. I think it was Master Walk and then Chicken Walk or something like that. But I don't. It was years ago, decades ago. But I remember and free sample, and it was always the bourbon chicken. And honestly, I gotta look for another copycat recipe too, because it's. I swear, if we, make a trip there, I am gonna cry having a piece of bourbon chicken. Yeah, just awesome. And then you had FYE, fuck your employment. I mean, for your entertainment. And this was before all of that, in my opinion, FYE was one of the best, not as better as coconuts. 'Cause coconuts, you're getting your own video coconuts. FYE was at one time one of my favorite stores to go to. Ames is my number one. FYE had, yes, it had games. Yes, it had DVDs. FYE, like Coconuts, had what EB Games was with video games. You can look up any CD and you could find it. I look up Bob Seger, I look up Warren Zevon, a specific like Eddie Money CD that you can't find even on eBay. You could find it there. They don't do that anymore though. If you're lucky, possibly, as it's turned into Walmart, and Walmart used to be like that. It's turned into Walmart. But there was a time FYE was a very, very cool, and they had the Wonka bars, a part of their like refreshments and snacks, which they still do the snack thing, but they don't do it as cool as they used to. Where, like, you feel like you're like it reminded me of like a place from like Futurama, where like Fry and Bender would go in Futurama. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And then, last but not least, Hot Topic. And I'm not talking about this whole skater boy bullshit. No offense to skaters. Emo, stupid, freaking Clover, whatever, fairy dust shit. I mean, this Hot Topic, gloomy, the webs everywhere, the freaking gate, the logo being freaking badass, like it was like a cult was behind it, and it didn't have the trendy bullshit like it does now. I'm not saying all, but employees I've seen in the past that are just there for looks, which I just can't stand. Again, I'm not going to name. I'm not going because it's my own personal experience. It was such a great, unbelievable experience going into a Hot Topic at this time, at that state of the time, which I'm probably gonna do a separate video on this as well, because you go in, you can find a, a specific vintage band shirt. You can find it had all the really cool nostalgia, like Pee-wee's Playhouse, Family Matters, like 80s, 90s shirts, and like socks and different stuff. I remember seeing like Roseanne socks and just all the different like things. Like this before, and I find it cool, but the whole pop vinyl thing is getting on my nerves, and I just miss when collectibles were just fun, like standy things, like nice like McFarlane like collectibles. It is what it is, I guess. I remember like seeing all like the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff and Corpse Bride stuff, and like all of the different Lost Boys shirts, just very different. And then I remember for the first time going into the newly whatever, and I was this what, and it's all bright and shit, and it's not dark and cool, and it was weird, and the freaking girly trendy girl bitches are all around. Like it was stupid, but this is what I think of when I think of Hot Topic. So this was just some fun little memories going back down memory lane for a life update. See yous.